Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 5th of September. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is a weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. This week we have ALQ, BMN, BIN, T&E and FLC. So if you have a request, please send it through. Just remember, make sure you share this video on social media. Make sure you've signed up to our free newsletter. And any advice, of course, is general only. So ALQ, we'll start off with a weekly chart. As we can see, there has been some, we've looked at this one previously, pretty strong support near 650. So it's bounced off that a few times, but it does seem to be putting in lower highs. So, it does seem to still be in a downtrend from the middle of last year. And if we move to a daily chart, you will notice that the move from the last several days has been on quite low volume. So again, it just shows us a lack of buying support. So I think for the moment, the risk for ALQ is still to the downside. Okay, BMN, which is Bannerman. We'll look at a weekly chart. As we can see here, the share price is still just struggling to do anything. I mean, over the last couple of years, it's really gone nowhere except for these big swings. I think that, we're likely to see lower levels. There's just no signs of it wanting to rally. This is the daily chart, not doing anything. This is the weekly chart. We can see the way it's trading here. We're likely to see lower levels, unfortunately. Okay, bingo. So if we move to a daily chart, I think it's quite interesting to see how much it has rallied during since the February lows. So if we measure the decline from mid last year to February using our Fibonacci tool, you could see that it's exceeded even the 61.8% level. So it's actually retraced quite a bit, which is a positive. However, in the short term, we had this sort of savage sell-off at the end of July, which is a bit of a worry. It bounced back straight away, but then came back again. So in a short period of time, it's come back a bit. It's back towards, I guess, fairly obvious support at 220. But just the way it's come back to that pretty quickly tells me there is a decent chance that it breaks that and wants to head lower in the short term. T&E, so we've got, there was a bit of a sell-off in May to early June. But if we have a look at the bounce, if we measure the decline during that period, you can see that it rallied right up to the 61.8% Fibonacci level before easing back. So the fact that it's actually rallied a decent amount is a good sign. It has eased back, but we have had a few months pass since this big sell-off without it going quite a bit lower. So that's actually not a bad sign. It means that the consolidation is likely to continue to be sideways as opposed to a deeper sell-off. But in the short term, I think there's still a chance it comes back towards that $7 support level. And finally, FLC, Fluence, weekly chart. So in the last 3 years, we can see the decline. If I zoom in a bit, we can see it's trying to rally, but then it gets sold off fairly sharply as well. So, not a good sign necessarily that every time it rallies, the market is selling into it. This seems to be some support right where it is now at 40 cents. But based on price action, it might head under that. And I think if it cracks that level, that would be viewed as quite a negative. I think it'll find 30 cents pretty quickly. All right, well, that's it for this week. If you have a request, please send it through.